Am I the asshole for asking my wife to respect my title as a pilot?
Yes.
My wife and I have been together for 5 years, married for 2, no kids. We have an amazing relationship, and I can't recall a single time we've ever argued to the point of breakup or divorce.
You can't communicate, is immediately fight or divorce.
This issue, however, is causing me to reconsider the health of our relationship. Since my wife and I have been together, I have worked as a manager for a restaurant chain. I'm extremely passionate aviation enthusiast in my free time. I've spent thousands of dollars of flight textbooks, sim gear, and even built my own A330 setup.
Sounds like this man hasn't actually flown a plane, but I'll wait.
It's funny you say that, Sean. The next sentence, I have never actually flown a plane.
But respect my title, though.
Bless your heart.
I've never actually flown a plane or started flight training, but I have considered it for a long time. Even though my skills are not a career, I still consider myself as adept or possibly more knowledgeable than the average pilot.
Excuse me?
That being said, here is where my problem arises. My wife and I were invited to one of her male coworkers' house for a barbecue. My wife is a senior software tech for a COVID startup. She's worked there since 2020, a lucky catch after she was laid off from her previous job due to the virus.
Lucky. Already putting her down here.
Yeah. It was my first time meeting many of her now close coworkers due to COVID. I'd assumed she talked about me before, but as we were cycling through the introductions, I became less sure. We were making our way down the line to the host of the party, a new male hire that she has grown platonically close with. We exchanged casual conversation, and Greg, the host, asked what I do for a living.
Oh, no.
My wife chimes in with, he manages a insert fast food chain. I quickly corrected her and told her that I'm a pilot.
I played thousands of hours of Elder Scrolls Skyrim. You don't see me claiming myself as a professional orc.
This is insane behavior.
My wife already knows how insecure I am about my job and how I'd much rather be introduced by my hobby. I've earned the title of pilot through my 500 plus hours on sim and thousands of dollars put into my craft. I think it's incredibly disrespectful for her not to acknowledge my skill and training. Just because I don't have the title of a pilot on an overpriced piece of paper doesn't mean I'm not a pilot.
I think that's exactly... I might be crazy, but I think that's exactly what that means.
I laughed it off with Greg, told him under my breath that my wife was often forgetful, which I'm sure he realized just from working with her.
Oh, that's so bad. Totally like these narcissistic traits, feeling smarter than other people, needing to center yourself, all of those like weird behaviors of like, my wife doesn't know shit. She's just a dum-dum.
At this point, I'm fuming, but I don't go much farther than exchanging some nasty glances at my wife for the rest of the night. As we pack into the car to leave, the argument starts. She feels as if I don't deserve my title as a pilot because I'm not professional. I told her she is completely insensitive to the work.
I'm with her.
I told her she is completely insensitive to the work I've done and she will never understand what it's like to study so much. She's currently on the couch as I type this. Am I really the asshole for asking to be respected?
Yes.
If you're a hobbyist and this is your passion, that's totally different. Someone asked what he does for a living. What do you do for a living? Like, again, I'm going to gas my husband up on his hobbies, but he would never be like, you don't respect me as whatever fucking video game he's playing right now. Like, I don't know.
Am I the asshole for telling people not to eat the food at my sister's wedding?
There has to be a good reason.
So my husband, 27 male, and I, 26 female, were married 8 months ago. We had a big wedding with lots of food and drinks and people. I knew we would likely have leftovers, so I had arranged for them to be donated to a soup kitchen we work with sometimes. However, my mom went behind my back and took most of it with her. I didn't really know what happened to the food until now.
Oh no! No!
My sister Callie, 30 female, got married over the long weekend. She didn't want to mess with any of the planning, and knowing how my mom was during my wedding, decided to let our mom take over the whole thing. All we had to do was show up where we were told and party. The ceremony was beautiful, but it was when the buffet was revealed that I noticed something odd. The food looked eerily familiar, like identical to what I had at my wedding, except for a little more dried out and sad. Again, this is 8 months ago.
Oh,
I found an opening and went to ask my mom about it, where she happily told me that she had saved a fortune.
Am I the asshole for getting my sister-in-law arrested on her wedding day?
this is wild.
I, 24-year-old female, and my husband, 24-year-old male, have 3 dogs. I rescued them from a puppy mill that was shut down about 6 months ago. They were all in horrible condition and had numerous medical issues. They are very friendly dogs and have adjusted to their new lives extremely well. My now sister-in-law we'll call her Amy, has met them a few times before the events occurred. Amy said she wanted them to be the ring bearer and flower girls for her wedding. Now, Amy and I don't get along at all. She has said numerous hurtful and cruel things about me to my family and really anybody who will listen. Oh shit. I am not even invited to the wedding, as I would quote, ruin the vibe, end quote. Wild. I told her she would not be using my dogs for her wedding for multiple reasons, including me not being invited, and they were all having surgery a few days prior.
She kidnapped the dogs?
I think she might kidnap these dogs.
Oh my God.
They were all getting spayed as well as dental work. She was not happy about being told no. Now, to the event that happened a couple weeks ago. All of my dogs had their surgeries on Thursday. This wedding was on a Sunday in the evening. My husband and I left the house to go run some errands Sunday morning, and the dogs were home asleep. I get a notification on my phone about motion at my back door. Oh my God.
Chicken of the dog!
I check it and it is Amy opening the door and walking into the house. I started panicking and telling my husband we need to leave now and go back to the house. I show him the video and he agrees. I start calling my brother and demanding for him to get his wife out of my house. And if she leaves with my dogs, I will call the police. He hung up on me. I got home and all of my dogs were gone and their cones were left in their crates. I called the police for theft and breaking and entering.
Yes.
Police arrived and I showed them the video of her getting into our house and leaving with the dogs. I told them where the venue was as I had seen a copy of the invitation. The police made it to the venue and were able to locate all of my dogs. One had opened her stitches and was bleeding from the wound.
Oh my God.
My husband rushed her to an emergency vet to get the stitches closed. Amy was arrested in the middle of getting ready for her wedding and has been charged with a class 1 felony and a few misdemeanors.
Good.
Now everybody is saying I ruined the wedding and I overreacted to the entire situation. I am being told that I need to pay them back for the whole wedding since it never happened. I am refusing to pay anybody back as well as drop the charges. Am I the asshole?
Hell no. And if I were OP, I'd also charge them with like, hey, you got to pay for the fucking vet bills. Because you know how traumatic it is for a dog to like open up those stitches. It sucks for them to begin with, going to the vet and getting their shit cut off or like spayed, neutered, and all that crap.
Yeah.
And for it to open, probably various infections, the stress of being kidnapped of their own place. And damn it, my dogs are my fucking babies. And if anything even comes close to my goddamn dogs, I will go John Wick on all your asses.